Let's talk about what makes a villain actually intimidating. My name is Gerald. Welcome back to Car Chat. This is the workshop. So, today I sat down and I played through quite a bit more of the Tsukihime remake. And I've been kind of documenting my thoughts, as you may know if you've been watching these videos, of my thoughts of going through the Tsukihime remake as somebody who played the original like 15 years ago. Okay? And they replaced a character by the name of Nero Chaos with a new person called Vlov of Nrvnsqr or something like that, right? And it really struck me that Vlov is not a scary villain. Like, the story wants you to be scared of him. The story is trying to say, look at this man, this is a monster, this is a vampire, this is something to be intimidated by. And he's okay as a villain. He's powerful, that's not the issue. The issue really comes down to there isn't that creeping horror. And if Tsukihime wasn't being compared to itself, this wouldn't be an issue. But it already is being compared to itself. Does it make sense? Like, Vlov does like this entire, there's going to be Tsukihime remake spoilers in here, by the way, but I just need to discuss, and original Tsukihime remake, but I need to discuss like how you need to really be delicate when you write horror. Okay? So, Vlov comes off noble, well-bearing. He has the right clothes. He looks the part. But he's a absolute psychopath who just loves to bathe in the blood of people. He burns everything around him to ash in order to keep himself sane. And while that's interesting, his powers are like fire and frost abilities with like quick sword using, and then he also has like these weird blood abilities too, which are like, okay, I get it. But I don't really like the new structure for the Dead Apostles and the Tsukihime remake. Like, it's so much more structured, and everybody seems to have a role and a rank, and that kind of misses what the original was. So, take, for example, let's look at the original villain who Vlov is taking the place of. Nero Chaos. Nrvnsqr, or however else you want to spell his name. But even the alien spelling of his name kind of heightened the fear of the character. Do you understand? He was a tall, lanky man, and the skin below his neck is pitch black. He wears a simple, loose trench coat, open, exposing the mud that is his body. And Nero, unlike Vlov, we're doing like a comparison thing here, doesn't have a headquarters. He doesn't have a base that he operates out of. Nero simply is at home wherever Nero is. And Nero's ability is that he can call forth animals from his body, which are a part of him. They are all Nero. And these animals then will feast and devour people whole. And then when they're done, and they leave nothing but a small bloody trace, they return into the body of Nero. Nero himself isn't even a man anymore. Once he was a man. At one time he was a man who became friends with Roa, who is like one of the major villains of the story, okay? But he long ceased being a human through his own aspiration. He is now more of a collective that is driven by one ego than a man of any proper sense. His body is no longer a place, is no longer a body, but a place of unfathomable creatures. It is literally the primordial soup that makes up the world. And the scary thing about Nero is he could be anywhere. You could be walking through the park and see a bird. That could be Nero. The shadow underneath the tree. That could be Nero. Nero could be the cat. He could be a dog. He could be a wolf. He could be a tiger. Or the man has alligators who emerge from his stomach to devour people whole, and a scorpion tail, and all these other insane creatures. And the key is he is associated with the number of the beast. For his number is 666, and he carries 666 beasts within him, which then completes his cycle of chaos. He's a eldritch horror. He is a truly terrifying abomination, because when Nero walks through, people disappear entirely. People don't just burn to ash or get had their blood drank and then be burned up. That's what Vlov does. That's how Vlov gets rid of his people. Is that he turns them into ghouls and he burns their bodies away, so there's nothing left. Nero, there isn't even a body left in the first place. They are simply brought into him as nourishment within his flesh itself. And that is so much more terrifying. This is an element of horror that Tsukihime is kind of lost in this remake. And I'm really starting to understand. They have these massive, insane fight scenes. And there's like fire going here and meteor here. And suddenly Arcoid is put on a mystic code. Which, by the way, I don't like that. I don't like that she's following like mage's rules from Fate Stay Night. That kind of irks me a bit, because it kind of goes underneath the entire power scaling of her. Like, this was somebody who's above magic, and now we're making her play within the rules of it, and it's like, I don't know, man. And there's a lot of things to this remake that are kind of rubbing me the wrong way, and I get that people are saying that, oh, it's more refined, it's more elegant, and it is. Make no mistake. The old writing was rough. Like, the fight with Nero was literally just like, he went to a hotel and ate everybody in the hotel, and then he left, and they fight in the park, okay? The fight with Vlov is he is burning half the city to the ground, and they gotta take him out. Like, there's no way you can make this be covered up in this. But with Nero, I don't know. It's the fact he has a base. I think that's what bothers me. The fact he has a home. Now this is something human. This is not something terrifying. This is not something we can't understand. Because with Nero, the monster was, we can't understand the monster. And the main character's abilities are literally one of the only ways that you could kill something like Nero. Like, full stop. Because any of the animals, if they're wounded, just jump back in his body, they heal up automatically and he can keep going. The man is a pure abomination. But with Vlov, like, you look at him and you're like, well, stab him in the heart and he's dead. You can see there is a weakness. And that kind of takes away from everything. Like, I get they're trying to make the scope bigger and try to make that fights more epic. But at the end of the day, what is more terrifying? And this strange trench coat wearing figure who just suddenly appears out of nowhere, and then the only way to kill him is a knife fight in the park as he's literally having animals bite down and lunge and eat you. It's like, And Vlov even borrows some of Nero's parts. Like, Vlov uses dogs, and I don't really like that either, because it takes away from his characterization. Ultimately, what I'm trying to express in this episode is, Vlov is how you write a villain wrong. He's not a good villain. Well, he is a good traditional villain. He's a video game villain. Nero's a Lovecraftian horror. And in the original, where all the high up dead apostles are like these abominations against nature and God, like true horror, I can't really justify them now having like this hierarchy, and they're like, oh, now we have these quote unquote principles, you know what I mean? And now Arcoid can speak in this special language that only they understand. it didn't need to be that complicated. Like in the original, Nero didn't even have any relationship to Arkoid. He became a monster of his own volition, and he only became powerful because of the number of people he devoured. Like, that is kind of, they accomplished it of their own merit, and that is what made them terrifying, you know? I don't know, man. I don't know. Oh, there are parts of this remake that I'm really enjoying. Like, the writing is a lot more refined. The visuals are stunning. The gameplay is better. The music is better. But as I keep going, I see these weird narrative changes that I'm just like, no, I'm not really... I don't really think this is better than the original. If anything, this feels kind of like you're trying to paint something on top of a masterpiece. Even though the original is not a masterpiece, don't get me wrong. The original has a lot of rough spots. Oh my god, it is definitely not peak fiction. But still, when you substitute a amazing abomination like Nero, and then you put in a generic Slavic vampire like Vlov Archangel, whatever his name is, maybe you've kind of lost your way on how to write a terrifying villain. You want to write a bigger scope? Sure, Vlov's powers allow a bigger scope. Like, he has fire powers. This is very flashy. His abilities are very different. They're very showy. Nero's are not that showy. Nero's are literally like you walk into him in that back alley and you're fighting for your life for like 5 minutes and then it's over. That's it. Nero is like a one shot, you're dead and there's nothing you can do about it. Vlov, on the other hand, is like they want to make him into, what's the right character? They kind of want to make him like a Gilgamesh character. But he's not intimidating. He's not good. And I don't really know how I feel about that. So, yeah, next time you write a horror, don't let us see. Don't give your villain a base. Don't give him a home per se. If you give him a home, that humanizes the man. If you want to write a true monster, make it so you don't know where the monster is. That when you walk past a tree in the middle of the night, the monster can be standing right next to you. And you wouldn't even know it until its jaws have already gripped around your neck. That is what is terrifying. So, thank you guys for joining me for today's car chat. I know this was more or less me ranting on this topic. I just had to get my thoughts out because, man, and after reading that scene, I really have to kind of compartmentalize and understand what I'm thinking. And one of the things I've noticed as I played through this visual novel, though, and this is kind of a different topic now, is, you know, in the past on the Workshop EM, I used to make Let's Plays. I used to make gameplay videos where I would play with you guys, and I'm kind of learning that I kind of just like to play a game by myself and think about it as I'm playing. And I tried to really get into doing it on camera, but that feels demanding. Like it takes something from me, takes something from the experience of me enjoying it, compared to when I just simply sit down and interact with it. I'm not sure exactly what that is, but I know there's something to it. Alright guys, thank you so much. I hope you guys have a good night. Stay warm out there. It is a freezing day. Hey, not as cold as yesterday. 10 degrees warmer. It's 24 out here. But I hope you guys have a good night. Alright, peace.